Welcome back. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime. My name is Fentio Tahir Fentio. Joining me tonight, two naysayers, Sichofia Philip Achim and Daniel Cranton. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Before we start the show, give me my fans. Thank you very much.
Congrats.
Speak. No, louder. I can't hear you.
Say congrats.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
No guy hear me be there.
I can't hear you. Sicho, give it to me. Give me my fans.
How are you doing?
No, that's not it. If you won't give me the fans, I won't do the show.
Okay.
Give me the fans. Give me bigger fans, or else I don't do the show.
Charlie, focus
Go ahead.
the camera and let's go.
Go on.
But now, which one? I don't get here, but let's talk about the Black Queens, yeah? The Black Queens have qualified to the quarterfinals of the Women's AFCON for the first time since 2016.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Let's go. Massa, go away. You say you will not do the show.
Leave my show. No, I don't go do. So you there here. I there here.
You not go do the show there.
Go ahead.
In fact, let's go live to Becca and Morocco. Our reporter, Lawrence Bedu, is standing by.
Which Lawrence? Did you put Lawrence on the show?
You know Lawrence you will talk to.
Don't mess up my show. What in Chelsea? What in Chelsea football? Hey, you people, in fact, today I'll do the show in my Chelsea jersey. And I give it to them.
Unim Chelsea day.
Unim Chelsea. Unim Chelsea. Unim Chelsea. Unim Chelsea. Do you understand? Do you know Chelsea? Do you know Chelsea?
The Blues.
The champion team. We wrote poetry into the pitch in New York. Everybody counted against Chelsea. And they have Dembele, they have Doué, European champion, they beat Real Madrid. None of that matters when you've got Cole Palmer. Ice Cole Palmer. That's right. Nothing matters when you've got that guy. Now he's got golden ball. Next year is Ballon d'Or. You never know. That's all going to happen. I told them, Chelsea is not to be toyed with. This is a club with history, with pedigree. Every time their backs have been up against the wall, they have delivered. A club that thrives in adversity. When everyone says no, Chelsea always turns that into a yes. They did it in 2012. They did it in 2021. They keep doing it, and yet Asu never lets. Yesterday was another reminder of why you should never discount a Chelsea team. Another lesson to Asu, and I hope this time the lesson will go right deep into the hearts of every single Man United, Arsenal, Spurs, Barcelona, and Real Madrid fan. We are not Real Madrid. Chelsea is not Real Madrid. They're greater. We don't lose 4-0 to PSG. That never happens. It will never happen. And the evidence is clear. Chelsea is not Bayern Munich. You don't get beaten by PSG who have a man sent off. 11v11. We thump you. That's what we do. It's a Chelsea thing. And you will never understand it if you're not proper Chelsea. And I am proper Chelsea. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show now. Welcome to the show now. Yo, how you doing?
I'm good, I'm great.
No, but Jesse the B. Unim Chelsea.
Oh, yes. Oh,
when
yes.
did you do it after the match or?
Oh, I did it today.
Today. So
Yes.
you waited after the match. Unim Chelsea.
Unim Chelsea. Unim Chelsea. Do you know Chelsea? Thank you very much. So actually, somebody...
But the guy arms they come.
That's right. Oh, Charlie.
Arms they come.
Charlie.
Tahiru.
Oh, Charlie.
Muscular Tahiru.
Tahiru no wabo. You see, when I wear the suit, the people underestimate my arms.
Arms come. Hey. Charlie.
Yeah. Chelsea. World champions for the next 4 years. For the next 4 years, we have a special badge here. The badge. It is here in the front.
Yeah.
They don't put it here so that it will hide. They don't put it here. They put it here. It is in your faces. When I give me marker, then came and draw it here. When I would draw it here. We would draw it here. Hey, Chelsea Football Club. La ilaha illallah. I told you, wallahi to lie. Anything was possible. Am I lying?
You said
When I show them how we did it in New York. Show them. Wow. Underdogs turn titans. Dreamers and destiny. That's Chelsea. It's a Chelsea thing. Listen, guys, you give Chelsea a slim chance. You also give Chelsea a slim chance. The one that I'm looking for, and Kasakra, the one who didn't give Chelsea any chance, is Achuta Makulu. He's the one that is not here. You at least left a small, especially you on the podcast. You said, oh, the thing, but Chelsea, you agreed with me small. That boy, when I tried to argue that Chelsea, he said, why am I giving him history? And you supported him. You said, why do I have a problem with the fact that he's saying we will lose?
No, I was saying that he has his opinion and allow him to spill it.
Telling us we will lose is not an opinion.
That's his opinion. He
thought you
thought you were going to lose the game.
He said there is no scenario where we win. That's not an opinion.
His opinion.
No.
He thought that based on what he has seen in the tournament, Chelsea has no way of beating PSG.
Deserves jail time. Because that is Nana Grad, that's levels. How can you look on a more serious note, man? Listen, guys. Daniki, Chelsea fans are listening. They would like you to eat humble pie. You to eat humble pie. Accept that Chelsea are world champions. By all extension, Chelsea is the best team in the world.
I don't.
Unless you are saying that they should change the name of the FIFA Club World Cup to FIFA Club something cup. So long as World Cup is there, Chelsea is the best team in the world.
Are you guys so insecure? Because nobody needs to prove anything.
You've won the trophy.
The facts are that you've won the trophy.
So Chelsea are the best team in the world.
I don't have to say it. That's what they've done.
No. You are an honest man. You are a Christian. You
don't get it. No.
So Chelsea are the best team in the world.
No, Chelsea are the champions of the FIFA Club World Cup.
So hold on. The European champions are not the best team in Europe.
They've never been. They are the best team in Europe. They've never been the best in the world.
No. When you win the Champions League, you're not the best team in Europe.
Well, it presupposes you're the best team in Europe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So Chelsea presupposes Chelsea are the best team in the world. Thank you very much.
So
right now, from now on, for the next 4 years, when you see me, address me properly and call me supporter of the best team in the world. Chelsea will be the best team in the world for the next 4 years. That's what it means. So listen to me carefully. They will be the best team for the next 4 years. Chelsea is the best team in the world until another team wins the trophy. Chelsea will be the best team in the world.
No, there's still going to be a FIFA Club World Cup, not in this grand version, in between the 4 years.
We don't care. You can't go and gather 8 teams there and win a competition and compare it to a competition that had 32 teams. One is more difficult to win.
Would they still have the same name as FIFA Club World Cup?
You know what? The more I think, I now realize why the people wanted Chelsea fans to lose. Chelsea to lose the game.
Charlie.
Who named Chelsea? Okay, you know what? Seriously, calm down. Fento, calm down. Be professional. Be professional. How did the best team in the world do it against what many people believe was the best team in the world? Where did it all... How I want to say it fell apart for PSG. Chelsea were simply unplayable.
It was a super game plan that was excellently executed by Chelsea. Before the game, in the scenario where Chelsea, or pre-game, the scenario where Chelsea stood a chance to win, I spoke about off the ball and how they would have to be very aggressive off the ball. Their pressing strategy will have to be on point, no mistakes. And for me, it worked like that. And what impressed me the most was the concentration level and the attention to detail throughout the 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. They didn't let it drop. At 3-0 up, you could tell in the first 10 minutes of the second half, PSG just felt like if they got that one goal, it would put some doubt in the minds of Chelsea. But apart from that Dembele chance, PSG really didn't threaten. Chelsea continued, yes, they slightly dropped their defensive line, but they continued to defend very well and still cause a bit more trouble for the PSG defense than the other way around. In fact, Delap could easily have scored a brace. It could have been 5-0, it could have been 6-0. And for me, that's just the beauty of football. The plan was on paper, but it's one thing to have a plan, and it's another thing for it to work, and for it to work that perfectly. And for me, Maresca takes all the plaudits, then the players, because the execution was... They were playing players who were against a team who was brimming with confidence. PSG have easily dispatched. They have thrashed and bashed anybody in their way. The midfield have had their field day anytime they play. They are very used to having a certain score line or a certain performance going their way.
Certain comfort level.
Comfort level. But from the blast of the whistle, like literally when the game started, Chelsea very, very aggressive. And I liked before the game, I was wondering why that tactical switch. In fact, he brought in Reece James to midfield, then sent Enzo to number 10 and shifted Palmer to the right-hand side. I was a bit afraid from a pressing point of view because Palmer presses well, but not with aggression. And that's where I felt like if he was on that right-hand side, would he be able to track the runs of Nuno Mendes up and down and give that proper aggression? Because Nuno Mendes is very strong. He very quick, very strong. But the mind behind it was what for me, and you have to let the game progress before you see the idea behind it. That's what worked perfectly for Chelsea. The wide men were doing shadow pressing, man marking. So they will shadow press on the wide areas, but Chelsea were trying to clog the middle as much as possible to prevent PSG from playing through the middle. Because at the end of the day, that's where their build-up strength comes from. If they are not able to penetrate the middle, they have problems dishing it out wide. And Chelsea were able to properly block those mid areas with how they set up, with Enzo and Joao Pedro leading the press, and then a very close back four. In fact, second group of four who rushed in. In fact, it was very, very close. So, and very dynamic and very aggressive. So Chelsea's shape was constantly changing during the press. And the synergy and the communication, because once somebody goes and he's taken away by a PSG player, the space that is vacated, the other person quickly comes. A
good example would be Caicedo and Levi Colwill. Every time Colwill followed Dembele infield, Caicedo would drop, come and occupy, still making it back.
And it was. We know that's how PSG have played the entire season. That's free rule number 9, you like to call it. His ability to drop deep, which always gives the PSG an extra free man in whichever hole that he finds himself in. But Chelsea constantly matched it. And again, it's one thing to have the plan, but to execute it 100%, that's where you have to give the plaudits to the players, because it's very difficult. Again, you are playing against an opposition that is brimming with confidence, that's on the top of their game. And I think Chelsea did it excellently. At the end of the game, I was saying, look, FIFA needs to check the Chelsea players for doping, because the intensity level was crazy. Like,
I was very, very surprised.
Look, again, it's one of the games where it's very difficult for me to mention individual players because everybody did their job to the letter. Pedro Neto and the work he did on Hakimi, and I don't know if we can quickly...
You and Teacher have prepared some tactical board, some tactical stuff that you want to do. And I think, Teacher, I'll just take your thoughts before you guys go to the screen and then show us exactly, instead of just telling us, show us exactly how Chelsea did it. But one of the things I found very surprising in the pre-match was this obsession about the PSG midfield being technically better. I'm looking at that Chelsea midfield, and I feel like people maybe underestimate the abilities a little bit. It's not just physicality. Enzo is very skillful. Caicedo is good with the ball. And Reece James, I mean, he started as a midfielder, so that's not entirely a new position for him. Yesterday, that was the key, winning the midfield battle.
I wouldn't say that was just, it didn't come down to only the Enzo and Caicedo. When many people talked about PSG's midfield being superior to Chelsea's, they didn't include what Reece James was going to offer in that Chelsea midfield as well. Not many thought of that. And to be honest, I think that the PSG midfield is superior to what Chelsea have got. When you see what PSG have done since January to this time, it's no fluke. Chelsea have had the better of them in this game, but that takes nothing away from how good that PSG midfield is. So people are right to say that they think that the PSG midfield technically maybe are better because they've done it consistently and over against big teams, top clubs, Champions League, and what have you. But what Chelsea did wasn't only down to, if you like, Enzo and Caicedo. I think it was, and Danny mentioned it, is the way everybody played a part. And it's what again, Enzo Maresca did in introducing Reece James into the middle of the park. And to be fair, he didn't even get Enzo Fernandez to play as the number 10 as he would have wanted, many people would have thought him to do. It was more or less a very, sometimes flat midfield three, Caicedo in the middle, Reece James on the other side, and Enzo on either side of Caicedo. And what they were doing was very important because we know that when PSG have got hold of that midfield, they can cause you all the problems. And when Dembele also drops into that space, it can cause you all the problems. But whenever Dembele dropped, he didn't drop into any empty space. He dropped around Enzo, who would have an eye on him, or Reece James, who would have an eye on him. So it was easy for them to plug those holes that, Dembele would cause the problems with. And they are wide men, one-on-one. They were brilliant in dealing with the threats from Doué at times, and then Kvaratskhelia.
Guys, analysis. What are we looking at?
Okay, so this is Chelsea's pressing shape from the blast of the whistle, what I mentioned earlier. You see João Pedro and then Enzo Fernandez, very aggressive front two, trying to block PSG from building from the back. Then you see an immediate supporting cast. This is Neto, Caicedo, Reece James, who is advanced very high up the pitch. And this is in the final third of PSG. Now, let me just quickly delete this so I can highlight Chelsea's two holding midfielders are here, this high, very aggressive. They knew that they had to get very aggressive, very tight to PSG, force them the game around this side, help them go wide and not be able to penetrate through the middle. And that was basically the game plan. But for me, again, you talk about the impact of or the influence and the instruction of somebody like Cole Palmer. He wasn't asked to go very aggressive and very tight. He was, with his body movement and his pressing shape, basically shadow marking and shadow pressing Nuno Mendes. So as it goes on, this becomes a bit more clearer. You see it here, the front two are pressing, trying to close down. And when the ball goes to this side, just look at Cole Palmer as he slowly drifts, trying to close the passing angle. So that as soon as Nuno Mendes picks it up, he has a customer to deal with. So again, you just play it again and you see, now he's kind of blocking. He's forced to go long. And Chelsea were really, really aggressive with this. Obviously, Dembele was in an offside position. So that's what Chelsea was forcing PSG to do. Eventually, they'll go to the wide areas, hit it long. Because of the physicality and the intensity with which Chelsea were playing, the second balls were usually falling to Chelsea. Okay. So you go again, you look at the press again. This is as the game goes on. So PSG trying to build from the back. Again, we see the front two very aggressive in there. So this is Enzo, who is falling. This is the clip that, for me, just typifies the intensity of Chelsea. So you look at Enzo basically following Vitinha, and this is it. Let's quickly highlight Enzo here. Enzo Fernandez. So we go back again. Once Vitinha passes the ball on, look at Enzo.
He doesn't follow the ball.
He doesn't follow the ball. He continues to keep his eye on Vitinha. And he's basically blocking the pass to him while assessing what is happening around him. And that was very important.
Everybody has established that a lot goes through Vitinha.
A lot goes through Vitinha.
And he normally makes himself available anytime he plays the pass.
Anytime he plays the pass.
Makes himself available to pick up the ball.
Exactly. And Cicho mentioned something very important when he said, Chelsea gives PSG a dose of their own medicine. We usually see the PSG front press. After the ball bypasses them, they go again to try and double up and
they don't stop.
And just before you go on, speaking about using their own dose of medicine against them, you know that kickoff nonsense that PSG do? Yeah. When they pass the ball from kickoff, they take it straight into the opposition half, it goes in the throw, then they press. Yeah. Yesterday, I don't know if you picked up on it. Every time they kick the ball up there and Chelsea take the throw in, Chelsea immediately kick it back.
Kick it back, very long.
Yeah. And then they press over there.
Yeah. So, again, this goes on, and it's not just him. Look at the intensity and look at how far Cucurella has had to come in. And Cucurella, I think Cicho explained it better, but Cucurella was basically tacking in, allowed him to go one-on-one with Doué. So once Doué is dropping, he's going. And then when Pedro Neto, or when Cucurella goes and Pedro Neto is left in that left wing back, left wing, whatever you want to call it, he's the one who has to deal with Hakimi. So it was a very intense not necessarily man-to-man, but dynamic man-to-man marking and aggressive pressing scheme that Chelsea employed. And again, as it progresses, you just see, continue to suffocate. They kept coming back. forcing PSG. So PSG are passing the ball around, but it's not leaving the final third. And eventually Chelsea pick it up. This could have been a chance, but at the end of the day, a poor control from my very good friend, João Pedro. But then again, just want to look at Chelsea's shape. And I mentioned the dynamism with which Chelsea were playing. So this is the first half, and you look at how far somebody like Gusto is in. So this is Gusto. This is Chalobah, then your Colwill, Cucurella, and Pedro Neto. If the video plays on, you can see Chelsea assuming almost like what looks like a back five. So it was very important for Pedro Neto to keep his eye on Hakimi. And the deeper Hakimi went in, the deeper Pedro Neto had to go in, which allowed Cucurella to have a focused eye on Desiree Doué. So it was very, very difficult for PSG to single out their wide men. Also because Chelsea had clogged the middle so much.
Yeah.
It was anytime they had that opportunity to swing it out. And there were a couple of moments, I think 2 or 3 moments in the first half where there were lapses in the man marking, and we saw it. First one resulted in that Fabian Ruiz pass to Doué, which he tried to cut back. But that just shows you how the space was freed up on the wide side. And then I think later on...
Cucurella intercepted.
The one Cucurella intercepted. And later on, Doué's shot that was brilliantly saved by Robert Sanchez. But then again, you just see it. This is how intensely Chelsea were very aggressive in their man marking, very dynamic man mark. But there's something that happened here that I want to highlight. So if you go back, the key word I use is dynamism. Chelsea were not stuck in one shape. They were adapting to the movement of PSG. And PSG do this thing so well. Sometimes it's Dembele who will drop deep. Sometimes it's Fabian Ruiz who will drop deep. But they always want to have a free man in between the lines. And Chelsea did it so well. And this is where I'll highlight. This is Chalobah having his eye on Fabian Ruiz. And we saw that several times throughout last season. They did it against Arsenal. They did it in the Champions League final where Fabian Ruiz advances very deep. And sometimes, occasionally, will sneak into the midfield, be a free man. They have a couple of players who can play in between the lines and cause opposition some problems. But look at the intelligence and the clear instruction that was given the Chelsea defenders. So I've highlighted these two. Fabian Ruiz is trying to sneak into midfield smartly to have a free space in and around this area. Yeah. So he's targeting this area, which would allow him to receive the ball, and with his technical strength, he can obviously receive it on the 10.
A wide player,
but immediately, Chalobah sees him. This is Chalobah. He has his eye on Fabian Ruiz, and he's not afraid to follow him. Because once he follows him into midfield, immediately, the line morphs into a back four. So they were in constant communication, and the synergy was just on point. Everything just worked for Chelsea. So PSG think, or Vitinha thinks, Fabian Ruiz is dropping to be a free man where he can play the pass, and immediately opts against it because Chalobah is following him. And now, again, there are no free options. So this was very frustrating. Now he
was literally suffocation.
Suffocation. They had to, every time PSG pick up the ball, there's a Chelsea man that is very close in there to cause problems for them. But we are going on a more offensive side. So I'll touch on the distribution from Sanchez. Yeah. Then Cicho will come to the goals and what he picked up with the link-up play and things. Now,
Sanchez was key to all 3 goals.
Look, there was this super video we played on Saturday. A fan who said if Courtois took 4, and how much would Sanchez take? Sanchez, and even Chelsea fans will admit, looked like the weak link in the team.
Yeah, they didn't trust him.
They didn't trust him. But for me, I had a pass stat but a chunk of his distribution went down the PSG left-hand side.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a coach realizing the weaknesses of his player and allowing him to receive and pass the ball to his favorite side. So you could tell most of the time Chelsea passed the ball to their goalkeeper. They were passing it from the left side to the right. So it landed right on his right foot where he can take a touch, steady himself, and hit it into space. So we look at his distribution here, and it started from minute 1. You look at it, it comes from the left-hand side, and they are not afraid. They hit it back to him. And if you look at how Dembele has been pressing all season, he's closing one passing angle as he's narrowing down on you. So if you are not a goalkeeper who is good with his feet, and when you do that too, there's another player who is closing down. So you have to hit it long. But Chelsea were hitting it long with purpose,
Yeah.
not just booming it away for a clearance. And they were hitting it into a space they knew they had tactically created spaces there for them to attack. And then you see him go boom, long. So it might seem like he's under pressure, but hitting it long, there will be Gusto there sometimes. There will be Joao Pedro there. There will be Palmer there sometimes. But it was into that space to force the one-on-one duels down that side. We see it again. We see it happening again. Ball is played to him under no pressure. He has time to steady it on his right foot, hit it to the right channel again. And then look, header is lost there by Palmer. But look at what Chelsea do again. They've seen the space there. Nice 1-2 there between, is it Rhys James, Gusto, hits it to Caicedo. Caicedo goes boom, round that space again. So Chelsea had created that tactic. The tactical instruction was such that it will create space down that side and encourage the one-on-one duels. Also because they knew that Paco isn't there. So if Nuno Mensch is beaten, the physical battle you have to go one-on-one with Beraldo is something that all the players down that side exactly could manage. So it just perfectly worked for them. And we look at it again. He receives it from this side. Dembele is coming. He's not afraid. Boom, looks up and hits it straight into space. And Gusto is there again. So for me, it was a tactical plan that was superbly executed from Chelsea's players. And I think from here, Sicho will just take us through the offensive play.
One of those resulted in the Nuno Mensch mistake, right?
Yeah, and we'll get to that one. But I'm looking at how Chelsea attacked. And look, I told you that Chelsea have got a real player on their hand when they signed Joao Pedro. Because it's very different from all the other strikers they've got. Yeah. Dilap would like to run. These are examples of what Dilap could do.
Yeah.
He's a different kind of striker. I think as the season progressed, there are games you need him because he can run with the ball. He's more direct. He runs the channels really well. Jackson as well.
Is he more
at times,
mobile? Very
mobile. At times, Jackson at times also stretches backlines even better because Dilap likes to start deeper. So the backline is not stretched. He's running at you. But Jackson wants to stretch you. So Chelsea can make use of Jackson. Chelsea fans don't write him off yet. And then there's the Joao Pedro, who is the proper baller, who knows how to combine, understand spacing, and how to make runs for the others in the team. So the first chance we saw of the game was this one, where Joao Pedro makes this run. Now, I like this because look at what Chelsea are doing here. As Chelsea are going to build up, keep your eye on Joao Pedro, who around this time is around the same place as Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
So he and Cole Palmer are on the same line, right? And Cole Palmer is supposed to have been started wide or at times coming into play as the number 10. But both of them are in the same place. And then PSG have got their back line in front of their penalty box. They're outside their penalty box defending. But Joao Pedro reads something and creates a very good space. And every striker knows this. So he runs further into the box. And as he does that, look what it does to the PSG back line. Straight away pushes them into their own penalty box. And something important happens as that happens. Watch this. Joao Pedro is pushing them on, and then he's left a big space in this area.
Palmer is so free.
Just because of the movement that he's made. He's made a very big space here where Cole Palmer stands. Now, even if the ball doesn't go into the box to Joao Pedro, a good cutback still finds Cole Palmer in that space. But having done this, he still has the awareness to realize what he has done. So once the ball is played to him, look, he knows everything that's happening around him. So once the ball is played to him, he backhills the ball into the space he has created, knowing that he created that for his man. Now, that is a lot of things happening at the same time.
That should have been 1-0.
But you need to be intelligent enough to realize what you have done. And he knew what he was doing. And pushing that line into the box, creating a space on the edge of the box. If there's a cutback, Palmer has the space. But as the ball comes to him, he knows he can't take the strike. Yeah. But he realizes that he's got Palmer in behind him. So he flicks the ball back to him. And Cole Palmer at that time wasn't at his coolest in the game. So the ball just narrowly, very narrowly, missed the mark. Then we'll go into the Chelsea's first goal. I mean, a couple of things happen in this scenario. And if you are Luis Enrique, you are devastated because there are very good things that PSG did there. But just like any system, just one mistake can throw everything out of the window. And that is what we saw. As the ball comes in, right, as the ball comes long to Gusto here, up onto the point where he misses, Neves misses the header, Nuno Mensch misses the header. PSG were fine. PSG were very fine. There's no threats. There's absolutely
At the point he missed the header, there was no danger.
There's absolutely no danger, and there's a better clip to it. Because at this point, even if you look at how PSG have shaped up on the pitch, They've got Chelsea. They've got a man on Chelsea everywhere on the pitch. And you would have been counting on Nuno Mendes to be able to deal with this ball. But what he tries to do is to win the header and keep the ball in touch so that he can progress into the space that he's got here. So he's trying to head the ball, but doesn't necessarily judge it well. So heads it. And unfortunately for him, he doesn't land on his feet. He lands on his knees. So straight away, Gusto is gone. And then Gusto leaves him. Gusto is way gone into that space. Now, all of a sudden, PSG are all over the place. They are desperately trying, to stop what is going to happen from happening. But again, once Kopama gets the ball into this area, this bottom corner is where he's going to find. And at this point, he's cooler. Ice cold. He finds the ball with a very, very good curl into the place. As soon as he got the ball, in fact, João Pedro realizes that he has to get out of the way. Keep an eye on João Pedro as Kopama gets the ball. As he takes the time, he just knows that he needs to get out of the way because that is the space. Again, it might sound simple, but you need a player who understands his teammates' strength. Because if he's a right-footed player and the ball falls on that left, maybe he's asking for the ball, let's play 1-2.
Yeah.
But as soon as the ball gets to Kopama's left,
he just knows.
He just knows. He knows, so he gets out of the way. But now, let me show you one thing that Luis Enrique is going to be very devastated with that Chelsea first goal. And I put up a clip for...
The second one.
Yeah, just a very good second. Yeah, 2. Now, this is actually very perfect. Before the goalkeeper kicks the ball, look at Paris Saint-Germain and where they are, right? So you've got, in fact, let me use this. You've got him going there. You've got Dembele going there, right? There's no real danger here, but there's a man marked here. He's supposed to take care of this. He's taking care of, he's taking care of, he's taking care of, excuse me, he's taking care of, he's taking care of, he's taking care of, he's taking care of, and he can do this job. So all over the pitch, PSG are really fine. PSG are very, very fine if you think about it. But it is just this misjudgment from Nuno Mendes. And he realizes the ball is coming. And as he gets there, if he has this ball to touch, PSG are safe.
Yeah.
But it is just that mistake, and then Chelsea make them pay for it. Then a lot of interesting things also happen for Chelsea's second goal. There it is. Now, I like this Chelsea's second goal because, Chelsea's second goal. We've missed that. Okay. But a lot of things happen in that Chelsea second goal, and I'm going to walk you through it. We don't have it here, but I'm going to walk you through it because there was a press in the middle of the park. And if you look at who did that press, it was Rich James, who got in front of Dembele when Dembele dropped, and he intercepted the ball. As soon as that happened, Kopama makes a run. But once the ball is played to Kopama, he makes a very, very good run. And as he makes that run, you watch João Pedro making a very good run as well. And as he does that, Vitinha is unable to determine whether to go with Kopama or to check the run of João Pedro. And once it distracts, Vitinha, then there's a problem. Kopama is cold on the pitch. Again, he picks a spot and he scores what was, for me, a very, 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 very good goal. So now let's look at that Chelsea third goal. Again, now this is...
The João Pedro goal.
The João Pedro goal. And when I spoke about... Again, I'm going to say it's a mistake from Nuno Mendes, right? Because he more than anybody should know that this is what PSG does with Dembele a lot more. Now, keep your eye on how Chelsea are going to build up and what happens here. Now, as Chalobah gets the ball, Gusto makes a run, and then he passes the ball to Kopama.
Who came really, really deep to receive that.
Came really, really deep. But then he also mentioned how Chelsea were closing in and were taking the risk to go aggressive on their men, even if they drop. Fabian Ruiz dropped, Chalobah followed. Yeah. Nuno Mendes is dropping with him here. As the ball is coming, he sees the pass coming.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you still have to go. You might want to change the angle of your run this way, right? You might want to change the angle of his run this way so that Palmer might not easily hit this ball to Gusto. Yeah. But you still have to get in behind him. What you don't want Palmer to do is what many teams don't want Dembele to do. And that is exactly what he allowed Palmer to do. He stepped off and Palmer turned. You don't want Kopama to do this.
He started backing up.
You don't want Kopama to do this. Absolutely not. And then once he does that, in the attacking third, the way he has started the game, his passing was good. Again, João Pedro's movement was good. Vitinha didn't track that run well, as he should have. And then João Pedro, faced with the goalkeeper, dinged him. So the first mistake for me was the lack of aggression from Nuno Mendes here. Because
what about the midfielders, though? Because as he's backing up, you could clearly see Gusto very wide.
Yeah.
And that was an option. And Nuno Mendes was caught in two minds.
No, so that's the first mistake. The thing is,
So where are the midfielders?
Look, PSG have committed a lot of men. Let's not forget. PSG have committed a lot of men here.
3, 4.
Right? And they've been bypassed by that very pass into Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is at times take a foul for the team. Or just stay close to him. We saw Dembele do this against Liverpool where Konate and Van Dijk, none of them reached to get in behind him. Chalobah did that for Chelsea in this game. Nuno Mendes failed to do it. And so that is the problem. Once you don't come aggressive enough, and he had the opportunity to do so. He's quick, he's fast, he's strong. Get that done. Raise the ball going wide rather than getting Cole Palmer to 10. Who would you want the ball to be with? Cole Palmer or Malo Gusto in the wide area? Certainly not Cole Palmer in the central area, but he fails to deal with that threat. The ball gets to Cole Palmer, and then Cole Palmer is driving forward. At this point, these PSG players have seen Cole Palmer score twice. They are thinking, what else is he going to do? All of them are, and that's one thing you don't want your defenders to do. You don't want your defenders to be facing this way. It means they're desperate.
That's the problem, right?
It means they're desperate.
Yeah.
And once Cole Palmer is running at them, and then Joao Pedro is also looking for the space to run, I think maybe Vitinha should be faster. Vitinha should be getting close to him. Yeah. Or on a foot race, maybe he can beat him. But Vitinha stops. Vitinha stops at some point. Here, right there. Vitinha stops. Joao Pedro makes the run. Listen, take nothing away from the finish. To be confident now to ding the ball over Donnarumma.
Brazilian cheekiness.
It's a masterpiece.
But you could also, I think you can explain perhaps why Vitinha stopped. Because those first 2 goals were still playing in their mind. I'm going to stop and prevent him
from Cole Palmer, yeah.
Exactly,
absolutely.
And prevent him from...
Yeah, but if you're the midfielder, you're thinking, okay, you want to see your run to the end. That's one of the things coaches tell you. If you have your man running from deep, keep up with your man.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your man to make that final run. And I mean, Vitinha has been good, but he himself, he won't look back at that goal and be thinking he could have done better. Fantastic. So Chelsea just executed tactics well, played very well, brilliant goals, brilliant Cole Palmer on the night, and they were just very scaly.
Their analysis, you can think far. Chelsea, simply superior. Enzo Maresca, acquire your coach. Top coach. Sicho said that no top coach will take the Chelsea job because the project is a joke.
No word.
Enzo.
Don't misquote me. No word.
Why? Should I read it for you?
I said no world class coach.
So Enzo is not world class.
No, he's not.
Maresca.
It's not world class. Not yet.
The world champion coach who beats the European champions is not world class.
Not yet.
What do you mean not yet? What does he need to win to be world class?
I consider Pep Guardiola.
He beats the world class coach.
Hang on. I consider Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti. These are world class coaches. Will you put Enzo Maresca in that bracket? Sir Alex Ferguson, these are will you put him in that bracket? If he is in that class, then he's world class, I think. Yeah. If he's in that class, then he's world class. I just look. No, don't put pressure on the young man. He's a young coach. He's done great. He's been here for only 1 season. Okay. Won the conference. They played in the top 4. He's won the World Club Championship.
And he's achieved more than Arteta.
He's achieved more than Arteta, and in fact, Eric Ten Hag.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say.
More than Eric Ten Hag.
Oh, but if you win FA Cup, then Carabao Cup, what you do?
I win 3 Dutch champions.
Every division. So yeah. Look, he's doing a great job. It is. And he has the personality of what we've come to accept as a Chelsea manager.
Mm-hmm. He does have the DNA.
A bit arrogant, firm, hard talker, straight. Mm-hmm. And he's been able to carry that through to the players. So yeah, let's see how that goes. If they can be consistent over 38 games and combine that with other competitions where we expect Chelsea to compete, Champions League, FA Cup, and what have you.
You know, you saw the pre-match interview when a journalist asked him that presumably Chelsea are not going to have a lot of the ball. So what is your strategy to try and deal with all those moments you don't have the ball? He says, can you say that last part again? He said, presumably Chelsea wouldn't have a lot of the ball. He said, who told you that Chelsea would not have a lot of the ball against PSG?
Yeah.
That's the arrogance you're talking about.
Yeah.
And he knew what he was saying.
Yeah, and that's the personality of the club, Chelsea. That's the personality of the club, Chelsea. You don't go to Chelsea and play Mr. Nice. And that's probably why the likes of Pochettino, the likes of Graham Potter didn't necessarily get it going. Even Carlo Ancelotti, even though he won the league, he struggled a little bit in the second season. But Chelsea have got a knack of managers who just are not afraid to say the hard things and the big talks and back it up. We saw Thomas Tuchel and the rest. Mauricio Sarri struggled to deal with that a bit. So I think Chelsea have got a personality and the manager has to match up to it.
Okay, interesting. I've got more messages here, but we have good news for you. The Black Queens are through to the quarterfinals of the CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations. they beat Tanzania by 4-1. You watched that game.
Yeah.
Quick thoughts. I mean, much improved performance compared to the last 2 games.
I'll give the credit to Kim Last. Brilliant coaching from start to finish. He recognized a couple of things. Yeah, Doris Bedua was suspended for the game, but he dropped Evelyn Bedu. And in the first 2 games, it was Evelyn Bedu and Doris Bedua who were asked to trigger the press. We all saw that Boy Hloka was a bit smarter in doing that. So this game, he brings Boy Hloka a bit more central. And then together with her, Princely Dubia, who also presses really well. We saw in the first 2 games when she came on, she was very aggressive on the press. And that's how we got our first goal.
Yeah.
Forced the mistake out of the goalkeeper. Look at Princely Dubia charging down the goalkeeper, getting the blocking, and eventually the Black Queens getting the first goal. And there were a couple of other opportunities in that first half where we could have, or scenarios where we could have fashioned our chances to score. But then it just sort of didn't materialize. And after like the 20-25 minute mark, the team just started slowing down the game. And it was a bit problematic for me. The set pieces from Tanzania were looking like we could cause problems for us. And then they got a set piece. We didn't win the first header. 2 players free at the back post, as you see it. 2 players free at the back post. And then the ball is headed goalwards. But I think Conland could have gotten a hand to it, if not for the header by Susan Dia at the near post.
Goal, huh?
It looked like Conland had read the situation. If you look at it from the back view, she was diving here. She was diving with the left hand to get the ball out. Then Susan Dia hits it very on the line away from her, and it goes into the back of the net. But for me, again, this is when the coaching comes in. This is when whoever gave the team talk comes in, because it just flattened the performance at the end of the first half. But they go into the break, come out. Remember, they faced this situation before in the last game. They took a lead against Mali, got pegged back. Mali could have won that game, and then just basically escape with a point. You take a lead, you are playing well, you get pegged back, going into the break. You hear that South Africa, yes, are winning, but Mali are still going to qualify as things stand. And after that point, the Black Queens were bottom of the
show a lot of
Okay, Danny, just hold on for me. In Sicho, you come in here.
Yeah.
What next now? Because we're coming up against Algeria, which will be a little tougher, no?
Yeah, you expect it. Once you go into the knockout stages, every team that has got there is one of the strongest out of the group. And I said it, that what Ghana has got is the perfect draw. So you are playing the strongest team in the group first. You are playing, if you like, the third best team in the group second. And you are playing Tanzania, who look like everybody can get a point against in that same group. So yeah, but then the reason why the team can pick some confidence from this is that when you've lost your first game, drawn your second, and you've won your third, by that margin, it picks some momentum going into the knockout stages. Of course, everything that has qualified into the knockout stage, it can be a threat. But it's against Algeria. Algeria themselves have got their own problems, historically here. So Ghana will fancy their chances against them. And we've also seen that the team can be dynamic. And then he mentions it. The way the team set up in those first 2 games are quite different from how they set up at the start of this game and how they ended it in this game. So the coach has seen some of the players who can come in from the bench and add up to the arsenal that he's got. So yeah, it sets up for what would be a fascinating, knockout stage. All
right. So, and the biggest knockout stage game is Zambia against Nigeria.
Yeah.
I don't know how they came up against each other, but those are literally the 2 biggest.
Yeah.
2 biggest favorites in this competition.
That could have been a final.
South Africa is, of course. Yeah, but
So
surely, exactly.
Those 3 are the.
That's a semi-final.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but that should see. Let's handle each other, knock each other out, and then
that's good for Ghana, isn't it?
It is very good.
You normally want the big clubs to play against each other. I mean, Chelsea know all about this, so that when the big clubs knock out each other, you can pass somewhere in there,
Pass corners.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that? Let's face it.
Have you seen?
And it wasn't your fault that happened.
Have you seen this
headmaster? It wouldn't be Ghana's fault that happens.
Pamela, have you seen this headmaster look before?
That's a French teacher, man.
Okay, interesting. Listen, let's talk about. We'll come back to the Black Queens. We're trying to connect to our reporter in Morocco, Lawrence, to tell us a bit more about what the mood is in camp and what have you. Show you a few more of the other goals as well. So all of that is still being worked on. But let's do some other things quickly and then come back to that. Let's hold on with Wimbledon. I want to take you to Monaco because Friday, there was something special. No allows is finally back. His first 200-meter race of the season, and he came up against Tobago. And everybody thought, I thought, that Tobago had this on lockdown. And Nolan said, no, I am still the king of the 200 meters. This is how it went down. He's back. The headwind was very strong. But 1988 as a season opener is crazy fast.
Yeah, really impressive. But again, look, we've seen this before. The top athletes, when they delay their season openers, it usually indicates that they are very.
They're working on a certain technique.
Yeah.
They're just not ready yet.
They're just not ready yet.
Sharpness,
They are ready. They've just not shown.
They're getting healthy.
If you remember 2012, the Olympics, both made his season appearance just
Very
a few
late.
weeks. Yeah, just a few weeks to the Olympics, and most people didn't know what kind of shape he was
shape he
in.
would be in.
But he went out and he set an Olympic record, which still stands today. So for Lars, I think that should have been the indication. Obviously, we've seen Tobago a number of times already this season, but we hadn't yet seen Lars. But again, when he's bold enough to say he's going to open against Tobago, it should tell you something. It means Lars is not somebody who likes to lose.
No.
He doesn't just come out and show face. He's a competitor. He always wants to win every race. So it should have given us a certain indication, but we're looking at the fact that, we've not necessarily seen him this season. Is he in the right shape? But he showed it. And again, the lane he was running in was, if you're running against your rival, that is technically a disadvantage because your rival can see you. Exactly.
Tobago
was on 6. So Tobago can see him throughout the race and basically charge
He
at
can't
him.
see Tobago.
He can't see Tobago, but he ran his own race, was very focused, ended up winning it. And I like these storylines because it sets up brilliantly for the World Championships. I don't think they'll meet again till the World Championships.
Actually are. And that's the thing. This very weekend in London.
In London again.
Which was where last year when they ran against each other, Tobago set the African record.
Yeah.
He also ran the second fastest time in the world. Daniel Hughes ran the British record. It was a crazy 200-meter race last year. And then this year, guess what? He's opening, that's what the arrogance you just spoke about. He's opening his 100-meter season. He's not doing 200 in London. He's doing 100 meters. He's doing it against the man who has never lost a 100-meter race this season in the Diamond League, Akane Simbine. Simbine will be in that race. Tobago will be in that race. Akim Blake will be in that race. Pretty much everyone is in that race. It's very packed. And this is his first 100-meter race of the season. The only person we would have liked to see that is not there is Kishane Thompson.
Yeah.
But everybody else, especially the king of the Diamond League races this season. I think Akane Simbine is 3 out of 3 in the Diamond League 100-meter races this season. So to go up against him in London this weekend will be very interesting.
No, he backs himself. That's his character.
Yeah.
I mean, he backs himself. Big talker, big doer.
Let's go to Morocco. Lawrence has joined us. Lawrence, can you hear us?
At the moment, I'm trying to get some. There's a support system backing me. Yeah, can you see me?
We can see. Hey, Lawrence, you are black. Oh, let somebody shine torchlight on your face.
Is it Doomsday in Morocco?
They are in the car, I think. Abigail is in there. Abigail and what's her name? Akosia. I see them. Let them shine a torchlight on your face. You guys are making it back to the hotel, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us about, okay, so we won't waste too much time, but tell us about that game, about the atmosphere after the final whistle. They're going up against Algeria. What's all that about?
Look, today happens to be maybe the best performance we've seen the Black Queens in this tournament. It was a chaotic first half, but then that second half was quite better. 3 changes made to the starting lineup with Priscilla Edubia, Princess Malfo, and then, thank you for the support. So Priscilla Edubia and then Princess Malfo coming into the starting lineup. Josephine also adding up. So Doris Bedua had to mess out through yellow card accumulation, but then that seemed to have done the magic. After losing momentum in the first half, they come back in the second half, and it was all Ghana leading to that 3 goals in the second half, which propelled them into the quarterfinal stage. I mean, it was a performance that this team will look back and be proud of, a performance that Ghanaians will be proud of, especially having seen them play give some this cup performances in the first 2 games.
All right. Against Algeria, what do we know about them? Is this a happy fixture for them? Or what is the mood like now that they know they're going to play against Algeria?
I mean, if you're a Ghanaian, you need to be excited about that Algeria fixture because, look, they haven't been too exciting to watch in this competition. It could have been worse for Ghana if we had finished it because we would have faced host nation Morocco, which is quite, I mean, this news comes as a good news for Ghanaians going to play Algeria. So it's a fixture that I'm forward to with a bit of positivity. That is if the team will come to the party.
Yeah, Lawrence, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's true.
Yeah. I mean, I've always told you, you're one of the best when it comes to covering, women's football. You know your stuff. But I want to quickly ask you, you did mention that the first two games performance were like a lackadaisical. What do you think, in your opinion, changed coming into this Tanzania game? What was different?
Look, I think it was the determination from the girls because at some point, even when they were pegged back, they still wanted to keep going. There was the energy or there was drive from each and every one. Before the game, one of the players, Chantel, had mentioned that there was the need to feed off each other's energy, both the young and the experienced. I think that was what kept them going. You want to mention the monetary factor, that is the ministry coming in to pay the allowances, also being a morale booster. So I think these two probably did the magic for them.
That's Doris Bwedua. Is she looking like a player who might have to think about sitting out for the Algeria game? Is that something you think the coach would consider?
Thinking about, yeah.
To be honest, quite early days yet, but from what we saw today, I think she will need to up her game because look, that front two or that front three today pressed all game, chased everything down the lane, and it's something that we not seen from Doris this whole tournament. Of course, she needs to up the game. She's going to be on the bench in subsequent games.
All right, say hi to Abigail and of course Akosia for us.
Yeah.
Lovely teamwork.
Enjoy the rest of the competition. You get to stay there for a few more days.
When you go into a tournament and the Black Stars win, normally they qualify to the knockout stage. The joy is for two things.
Yeah.
Is that Ghana has obviously won.
And you get to stay.
You have your selfish, also your selfish joy. So friendship gets to send you more per diem.
We'll send you more money. Don't worry, Lawrence. We'll send you more money. So that quarterfinal match between Ghana and Algeria is on Saturday at 4 p.m. So mark it on your calendars. Guys, I want us to go to the England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club. That's where Wimbledon took place this very weekend. We'll start with the men's final between Yannick Sinner and, of course, Carlos Alcaraz. Alcaraz has 6 Grand Slam titles coming into this. He was looking for a 7th. On the other hand, Sinner had 3. He was looking for his 4th. They had played each other in the French Open about 38 days ago or so. One of the best tennis matches I've ever watched. And Sinner needed to get his revenge. Danike and Sicho, listen, Sinner, look, the crowd was so pro Alcaraz, just like it was in the French Open. I was beginning to really feel bad for Sinner. And it's not Sinner's fault or Alcaraz's fault. Especially, it's not Alcaraz's fault that so many people like him, so many people love him. But, I was beginning to feel a little bit bad for him. But in truth, this was one match that just showed me what I've always believed in, that Sinner is probably the better tennis player. Carlito just has a bit more grit.
So I look at it this way. Only Carlos Alcaraz on any day when 2 players are playing well is capable of beating Sinner.
True.
But there are more players capable of beating Alcaraz.
True. Right?
Because of the way his game is. His game is never really the most consistent. It can dip. So he ends up dropping more sets than Sinner would drop. And I can understand why many fans, when they are in the courts, they are not big fans of Sinner because he doesn't engage the crowd. Tennis is an individual sport, and Alcaraz does well. He uses the crowd really well. He hits a very good shot. He's got his hand over the ear. He's pumping up the crowd. He's shouting his vamo and all of that. The fans love that. And he's a good player. He really is. On a good day, he gives you a very good show. What Sinner does is take almost every excitement out of the game because he can beat his opponent 6-1, 6-2, 6-0. 6-0, 6-0, 6-2. And when tennis fans are there, they want a bit more of excitement. That's why people love Roger Federer. He's the most fluid tennis player we've ever seen on the court. Roger Federer, his backhand is
Very
beautiful.
skillful.
His forehand is a masterpiece.
Flair.
The flair is amazing. And what Jannik Sinner is suffering from is not very different from what Djokovic, when he burst onto the scene, suffered from.
exactly.
Because many thought we've seen Roger so fluid. Now we see a very serious, mechanical player in Djokovic. So you always have that against him. But Jannik Sinner, as we see him, for me, in my opinion, he is the most effective player I've watched on the court. I love Roger Federer, I love Nadal and Djokovic, they were brilliant. But when you want a player who has replies for every kind of shot and returning every kind of shot with proper precision, it's got to be him. And for me, I'm happy that he got this one over Alcaraz. Because had he not won this, the psychological battle continues. Wherever
How many finals had they played and he hadn't won one? Like 4?
Yeah. He had not beaten him in the last 4 rounds that he had played. And Sinner's, Alcaraz got a far better head-to-head to him. And the way he lost the Roland Garros from championship points to sets up to his own serve, dropping them and all of that, he had to get back at this one. And on the day, I mean, I thought just Alcaraz couldn't match up with the energy and aggression and how much Sinner wanted this one. It could have gone either way. I just thought Sinner wanted it more, and he hit some of the best shots on the day.
It just looked like it was going to be deja vu after he gave away the first 2 championship points. I'm like, this cannot happen again. Like, this cannot happen again. But DK, I mean, you were very concerned about the speed at which Alcaraz was winning the Grand Slams, and you needed someone to put a stop to it. And Sinner looks like he's that guy. If it's anyone capable of stopping Alcaraz, it's him. When Sinner has beaten Alcaraz, it's been very convincing.
Yeah.
When Alcaraz has had to beat Sinner,
He's got to go through it. And that's Alcaraz. He wins games, but sometimes it's dramatic. And that's why fans love him, you know.
Sijo puts it perfectly. He's not consistent.
Yeah.
So once you're playing Alcaraz, you know you have a chance. The semi-final against, was it Fritz he played?
Yeah.
Very
it
chaotic.
was very dramatic
And in
for
fact,
no
in the
reason.
last set which Alcaraz won, Fritz had a couple of set points. Like
Yeah.
he could have forced
back,
it into a fifth. So when you're playing Alcaraz, you know you have a chance. When you're playing Sinner, you don't have a chance. Like he's the Sicho said it, he's the perfect player. But I don't agree that he's the most technically gifted we've seen.
No,
I think he has
the most efficient and effective player.
I'm saying that
Weakness is coming short. Like in the French Open, that was how Alcaraz scored a lot of his points. At the net.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a weakness. Look, how I see it is, Djokovic, Nadal, Federer grew up in that's a golden generation. Yes. The supporting pack, yes, they were a distance or miles away from them in terms of gifting.
Wawrinka,
the Wawrinkas, the Murrays, the Gasquet, the Davydenko, them.
Yeah. Del Potro.
They'll be competing today. That's how I see it. Look, their games were much more established than some of the guys on tour today. That's why a 39-year-old Djokovic, world number 6, is still reaching the last 4 Grand Slams.
Djokovic is an outlier.
Look, to be frank, when Djokovic faces Sinner and Alcaraz, we can see his weaknesses. When he faces the rest of the players, we don't necessarily see it. So the only proper competition that Sinner has right now is Alcaraz. But see, a short break, just a few months away from the
You want to do it in the US Open?
It has to happen in 2025.
Otherwise, it's done.
So a short break. And he's announced it. Looks like he's going for a short break. Go and rest. Don't go
on a couple of
Don't
tours.
go to Cincinnati. Don't go to Toronto.
Yeah. And
number 25 must come.
It must come in 25 and then we retire.
25.
25.
Look, the scary thing for all the tennis players now is that Sinner, we always knew when he was coming up that on the hard courts, he's unplayable.
Yeah, that's
so
guaranteed.
Australia, USA, we knew he was favorites. The doubts we had was if he could do that on grass. Now he's proving that he can
clay.
do that. And if he could do that on clay, he went to the final and almost won it. Yeah. So that is even scarier because we know 2 out of the 4, he's favorites in Australia and in US. Yeah. Now he's added grass, and we know that. And look, he had come from the ban, only gone to Rome, and then went to Roland Garros all the way to the final. Yeah. What a player.
All of you, thank you so much for all your messages. We appreciate you. Thank you, Sicho. Thank you, Daniel. Sports Zone, as always, brought to you by Piva Beverages and by Guinness. We'll be back again here next Monday with another episode. Until then, do take care of yourself.